Hi, thanks for clicking on my video. I've got a little Honda side-by-side and I've used it for a couple of years now, and I found there was a couple of deficiencies in the way it comes from the factory to suit my style of driving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point those out to you today and show you what I've done about it. So this is my 2018 Honda Pioneer 500. Known as a P5 in some circles. But anyway, it's a great machine, nimble, good on trails. It's not fast at all. It's good on gas, and like all Hondas, it's very reliable. But however, there are a few things that don't come with the Honda Pioneer. For one thing is a front bumper. Now the bumper, I picked this up from a guy I know. It's a takeoff, and he was able to get it for me. So I bought that and put that on. I got myself a winch, and I got myself a 13-inch LED light. The bumper that comes with the side-by-side is just this little wee tiny thing, and it fits down there, and it's not much good for anything other than yeah, nothing really. So anyway, the back is a different issue, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go around the back and show you what my project is going to be. So yeah, the back of the side-by-side, my 500, you can see it's all exposed here. The fenders are open, no protection. The back of the bike's no protection. Here's the muffler, absolutely no protection. Just the frame here sticking out in the back, and everything else is exposed. If you're in the bush backing up, bumping into a tree, or if somebody rear ends you, you've got absolutely no protection. Can cause a lot of damage. So my project is to try and come up with a way to build a rear bumper for this, for some protection. I'm sure we can come up with some kind of a solution to give more protection for the back of this thing. I'll start with the trailer hitch, try and get an adapter to go in there and build from that. So we'll get some material. So the first thing I need to do, I think, would be to make sure I've got enough material to build this this bumper with. So I do have some steel left over from my trailer project. I've got some 1.5-inch square tubing, I've got some 1-inch square tubing, and I have some 1-inch flat bar. I've got enough to do this little project, and all I need to do is to pick up a trailer hitch adapter. Here it is, 1.25 inch, a 2-inch trailer hitch adapter. This is the rack. It's going to attach into the receiver. So I built this thing. It'll attach up there pretty good. All it needs now is a coat of paint, and we'll be on our way. These two black arms here, one on this side and one on the far side, they're going to attach to the ATV, to the side-by-side, up underneath the frame. Now, this is kind of dark here. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. There's drilled a hole here and a hole over here. And that'll slide in with the receiver on the bottom, one on either side. Put 2 bolts in here, and that'll hold the top steady, and then the bottom will be pinned in place with the pin on the hitch receiver down there. Very easy to install and very easy to remove if you ever need it. This is what I've got so far. This trailer hitch on the bottom here, you'll see the trailer hitch adapter going from 1/4 inch to a 2 inch. That's the new trailer hitch receiver. Just slide in like this. These 2 bars here will attach to the frame on the back, and it's just about finished, ready for paint. But then I thought what I'd do next is adapt it a wee tiny bit for a canoe carrier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an inch hole on top of this for a leg to come up, and that's going to support the canoe when it's on the back of the side-by-side. Then what's going to happen, I'll drill a hole here, another one on the opposite side, weld a couple of nuts on there, and put bolts in. And that'll lock the uprights for the canoe stand in place. So in order to put a hole on top of this, it needs to be a square hole for a 1 inch square tubing for my upright. I can't very well put a square hole in that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure over here 2 inches, a line here and a line here, 1 inch apart of course. I'll cut these out with a mini grinder, and then what's going to happen, I'll weld a piece of 1 inch flat bar across here, another piece across here, to make a perfectly 1 inch square hole on top of this, and that'll hold my uprights. So with these 2 uprights here, that's going to be the 2 legs, one on either side, for my canoe rack. So there's the slot that I just ground out. This is just a small piece of 1 inch square tubing that I use for a gauge, and as you can see, that fits in there very nice. Then when it's in there and ready to go, and I get my nuts welded on, I'll weld a piece of 1 inch flat bar across there, and that'll give a nice square pocket for this leg to go into. Finished. There, I've got the posts in here. Of course, they'll be much longer. This is on there just for to set it up. There's a bolt in the front to lock it in place. Another one in the back to lock it in place. When I want to remove the canoe rack, all I'll have to do is take and loosen one of these, and it'll pop right out. The back one will have a permanent lock nut on it, so it won't back out. And this was the only one in the front that I'll need to remove from time to time, or loosen from time to time. Should be good. What I forgot to mention was these tabs I put on there. I slit these slots in there with the mini grinder, then measured out the distance I needed for the 1 inch tubing, and put these little pieces of flat bar in, weld them, and that's the stops this way. Nice square hole. Now my side-by-side rear bumper is ready for painting, and it's not only a rear bumper, of course, it's a canoe rack as well. Yeah, I'll get it ready for paint, and then I'll install it. So this is what I come up with for my canoe rack. It's ready for paint. Just 2 long uprights, a bracket across the top will support the canoe on top, and yeah, it's good. I do have to confess though, I'm not a welder. Once I get the paint on there, yeah, it hides everything. There's I'm not sure if you can see it from here, but there's the canoe over there on the bench, on the racks, just waiting for some snow to go away. Now it's time to install the rear bumper. Here we go. Just take this, pick it up, line up the top rails, just shove it in. Pin goes in just like that. So now we put the bolts in the top rails. A couple of bolts, a couple of flat washers, and a lock nut. Get the holes line up pretty good. There. Here's the next bolt. There. Off to the other side.
Every day, anytime, with the Hotspot app. Coming to the city for an appointment? 1 hour free with the Hotspot app. Stop at your favorite town restaurant or retailer. 1 hour free with the Hotspot app. Yeah, St. 31st. 1 hour free with the Hotspot app.
Bumper's all installed.
St. John and their partners.
Yeah, put never cease on those things. Of course, a job like this, it's really necessary. But I hate using it. But anyway, when I want to take those bolts out again, they'll just fall right out. Here's the canoe rack. It's all finished up. I just want to show you one more thing that I did. On the top here, there's a piece of Teflon. I attached it with some countersunk screws, drilled down through the bottom, put some nuts on it. That's going to do two things. What that's going to do, that's going to let the canoe slide across the roof a lot easier. Plus, another benefit of the Teflon will be to protect the gunnels of the canoe. Now there's the canoe rack installed. Nice and tight. There's the bolt in the front, another one in the back with a lock nut on it. It should work pretty good. Well, there's the canoe on top of my side-by-side. That should be all right. A little higher in the back than it is in the front, but that's my project. So this is my complete project. There's my canoe on top of my side-by-side. It was a bit of fun. Maybe it's inspired you to make a modification to make your off-road vehicle a little more versatile. A canoe isn't much good without these things, so I'll just hang this up here. Strap those down with a couple bungee cords. And really, by the way, what would you do if you were up a creek and without a paddle? Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click if you like what I've done, and subscribe. Thanks again for watching.